Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing one more video today. As you probably noticed, something different about me. Hey, oh my God, it's something different. And I did notice that was something going on with my... anyways, I didn't know before I went to the... something's going on, even though it is growing back. I don't know. So, anyways, I'm not going to talk about my hair all day like I do sometimes. I think... I made the choice for various reasons. Maybe I'll do another video about it. Hey, why not? You know, why did you cut your hair? Because it looked like shit, man. It was so hard to take care of, and I'm going for this vibe. I'm going for this energy. That is more conducive to what I want in my life right now. If you know what I mean. Now, at some point, I may grow it out again. So maybe just do something a little different that time. I might start dyeing it if I find the right dye, because I'm allergic to most hair dyes. Various things like that. So I don't know. But I think... I'm looking, I'm like, I like it. I like it aesthetically. So, especially if I lose more pounds and stuff, it's going to even look better. But, I got a haircut. I'm gonna talk about it on YouTube. Oh, golly gee. Anyways, so this video is about giving up. And what I mean about giving up, is like just accepting things. And I'm like, our modern society, I'm gonna try to make this as succinct as possible, but our modern society, a lot of people have given up and accept things way too much. And let's talk about that in the whole fat acceptance thing is one thing. These drug addicts on the street, you know, in Philadelphia or, you know, Kensington, Philadelphia and stuff, that is giving up. The liberal leftist, not leftist, I'm not going to say leftist, but liberal thing right now, a lot of mainstream liberalism is about acceptance. And I don't mean acceptance of people with different gender identities and stuff like that. I mean accepting bad things as normal and normalizing bad things. And that case in point is, you know, the thing is with a lot of these ideas, and I'm talking about even like with regards to like how things are in a city, I'm talking about all this stuff. So I think there's people that benefit from this idea. Politically, financially, and otherwise. Like, for example, I think, you know, fast food is so proliferated in our society and in our culture. I mean, it's because, you know, that's become kind of like a staple of, for people to talk about these, like, certain, I mean, it's just like normalized, you know, fast food, you know. And when people are talking about, like, I think it's like, it's also like this acceptance is also this core idea that things will never change, or they haven't changed, or they never, you know, like, for example, with like some of the race stuff, it's like, you know, oh, we just have to accept that white people are racist naturally. You know, it's almost like, makes me think of that. Like, oh, everybody, you know, everybody's racist and blah, blah, blah. And we have to focus on this fact all the time. We have to accept this fact. And this acceptance is giving up. And I think people have given up progress. They're giving up progressing in their own lives because they think it's easy to glide by with situations, you know, in their life. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like, as a society, we've just accepted bad things happening and just accepted these truths. And that's why I see it with mental health, especially. And as they've seen it with, you know, physical health, like with the fat acceptance and just things in general. It's like, oh, well, we just accept that that's the case. Why shoot for such mediocrity or accept such mediocrity? I think that's a natural tendency. In all honesty, I think it's natural for the left somewhat to do this, as brash and politically incorrect or whatever, you know, as that sounds, I think there is a tendency to do this. Like, we just accept it for what it is, you know. It's a subconscious not motivation, but subconscious idea that people have. So you're going to criticize, or if people get too into fitness, they're right wing, you know, or, you know, tying that shit in there, or a man can't improve himself how he is with women. It's like, you just accept yourself, be yourself. No. Or be the same person you are, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like this, it's just this mediocrity. And I think Ayn Rand talked about it a lot, honestly, too. She talked about this. And I agree with her in this instance that a lot of times this happens, this acceptance of mediocrity. And I'm not saying that, you know, the left or liberals or these ideas are bad in and of themselves at times in a moderation, you know, framework. That's a lot of what it's about. But it's gone, the pendulum, like I said in the previous video, has gone too far in this direction. Like, just accept, oh, there's fat people. Oh, well, oh, they're gonna die 10 years younger. Oh, they're having fun at least. Oh, you know, everybody's got a little fat on them. Oh, yeah, great, you know. Or, oh, someone is not, you know, I had a person, true story, you know, I had someone that almost died because they had diabetes and they didn't go to a doctor and stuff like that, and all this stuff, all this stuff happened. I've told this story before, like last year. I'm just like, I can't live like that. It made me a wake-up call. I'm gonna go to the doctor for a little pain in my leg that I have waking up or whatever. This is actually what happened, because I woke up a couple times with this weird pain in my leg. So I'm going to see a doctor Monday, because I'm like, I'm not gonna wait, you know? Like he did, to go to the hospital, and now he's like had strokes and stuff like that. So this acceptance in society of mediocrity is leading to a lot of bad things in our culture and society. It doesn't mean you can't accept that you can't, like, I don't think you have to think of drug addicts as like sick, disgusting people, or people with STIs, or people with mental health conditions, or anything like that. No, that's stupid. But just accepting things as they are at face value in a certain sense, in a certain fashion, I think can be very destructive. And we see that. Now, I think there's other motivations there too in this situation, like the food thing, like I talked about with, you know, the fat acceptance, like pontificators. Some of them do have links to the food industry, which is really suspicious. I think Sagar and Jetty and Cristobal talked about this on Breaking Points a couple of times, and it's really messed up that some of these people came out and said that, and they said, if you're fat phobic, you're racist, and all this shit. It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? So this acceptance thing, I don't think there's things people have to accept in their own life. If they're you know, living with mediocrity and living in mediocrity, I don't think that's a good way to look at things. So I think the pendulum swings too far. Just accept, you know, you're gonna be on SSRIs or some kind of drug for the rest of your life. Like I don't know what the ratio is, but I think 2/3 of liberal women are on some type of psychiatric drug. That's like just how inundated we've gotten with these labels and ideas and these, you know, situations. And I'm not saying that none of them need it. After all, it is a mental disorder. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Ann Coulter. I am a liberal, actually. I'm on the left considerably. Especially in certain situations. But I like to make that joke anyways. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't believe in accepting at face value that these women have to be on these drugs for the rest of their life, or that they can't improve themselves in some way, some fashion, you know. And this comes, and anytime you talk about improving yourself, you're going to be attacked by some of the left too. It's like capitalist dream, like Michael Brooks will probably say that, would rest in peace. I liked a lot of his ideas, but he'd probably say this, Michael Brooks, or you know, some of these people, it's like, it fits a capitalist framework of society, like the self-improvement stuff. And so we live in a capitalist society. I mean, you don't have to be a super capitalist to improve yourself or to be happy, though. That's not what I mean, Tony Robbins doesn't, you know, he talks about a lot of people that are poor and just like, every day above ground is a good day. You know, there's a guy in one of his examples, but you know, it's like, of course, if you want something, you know, why not go for it? Go after it. Why don't you, why is that a bad thing? It's just, it's neoliberalism. There's a book about the the dating seduction community thing, Manosphere, called Seduction, and talks about the neoliberal roots of this idea of how these men go after these women. And, you know, I probably agree with it, you know, for the most part, but it doesn't mean I want to follow it. I mean, I just got to stop and just be myself, be yourself. Yeah, a drooling beast of a man that, you know, I'm not saying I'm drooling, I'm just saying, you know, just, it's like a guy that like has all these conditions and, you know, squeezes pus out of his warts on his face, and like, it's really gross. Make sure you have some antacid or, you know, Malox or something, you know. And he's like, he talks like with a lisp and a speech impediment, like, you know, and then he's like really fat and like has, you know, a hairy butt that he never wipes, and like, you're gonna tell that guy, and he has like, he doesn't have a car, and he wants to talk to women and stuff, and he's like always talks about his problems and stuff, and like buys them flowers before he even goes on a date with them. You're gonna tell that guy, be yourself? Fuck that, you know? Fuck that shit. I don't believe in this idea that we have to accept things in our life, in our culture, in society. I like self-acceptance, I like the idea of it, but I think it's gone too far in this weird territory that we're in right now. In today's culture and society, it's like, just accept it, accept, you know? And like bad acceptance or whatever. It's like, why not figure out, and the same goes for, I hate to say it, but some of the gender stuff, it's like, oh, we just have to accept that someone wants to pump their body full of hormones without knowing the root cause. I know that there is psychological stuff that they do to get this stuff, but I'm just saying, in general, the societal sense, maybe not the actual therapy itself, maybe they do. I don't believe that all of them have to go through that rigorous process, by the way. I do not believe that, because I've seen some of these people talk about this stuff, and I'm just like, but anyways, let's rule out that they don't have to go through that. But even in our societal attitudes towards it, it's like, well, why do we have to think that something doesn't have a cause and just accept it? Why can't we look at causes anymore? Why do we just have to accept things? That's the whole point of this video. Why can't we look at causes and try to stop, to try to go to the cause? I'm not trying to say people have to, you know, not get surgery or something. Just like in the 90s, it's like, who cares if someone's sleeping with the same sex or gender or whatever? It doesn't matter. And I think there is natural things about gender and sexuality anyways. That's just innate, that your brain is like that, and who's it gonna harm, you know? But at the same time, if there are causes for things, you know, that why not find out the causes of things just as a good defense against being attacked sometimes? It's like when the left talks about all these things, it's like they don't give they don't explain anything anymore. That's what used to be about the left. Like, oh, we have to see the root cause of racism or poverty and blah, blah, blah. What is causing this? What is causing this person to do this? It's like, that's what the criminal justice is saying. It's like, well, this person was caused by this mental disorder they had, and they were on these drugs, so we're going to try to help them with the drugs, help them with therapy, blah, 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 blah. You know, that used to be the left thing. Now it's just like, acceptance. You know, I don't like that. I don't think it's right. I think it's actually immoral. And I think it's on purpose a lot of the time. Like I said, with the food industry, probably the psychiatric industry too, now that I think about it, it's like, oh, just pump it full of drugs, you know? And maybe with the gender thing too. I'm not sure about that. I think there is some room for skepticism about some of that stuff. I'm not gonna say that I have any place to talk about it, because I don't. But I think, at least with kids, I don't think that they should be, at 10 years old, be able to get, like, you know, all this stuff people are talking about. I don't think it happens that often, I'm just saying. So I like looking at the root cause of things. I think people need to talk about that more. It's like this social constructionism and this postmodernism and wokeism, as I described in my previous video, doesn't really talk about that much because they don't care. It's just like, I mean, NLP, like, I'm interested in neuro-linguistic programming. There's like, oh, it doesn't matter the cause of what's happening. I don't agree with that necessarily. I like looking at the cause of things. I've always did. You know, my father showed me how a car worked when I was a kid. You know, he did some good stuff. Some a little bit here and there. Anyway, sorry, that's pretty mean. He hates my videos, so I don't give a shit anyways. Fuck him. But anyways, so yeah, or he doesn't understand them, whatever. You know, I like to ask questions. I like to find out why certain things happen. Why does gravity cause an apple to fall? Why do things happen? Curious. People have stopped being curious about what's causing things to happen, or they analyze the wrong things, you know, or they blame other people, you know, for their own problems too. It's just it's a cluster bomb, you know, of war crimes against people's better senses. I just think people should look at the cause of things. And it's very totalitarian to not want to do, in a way, it's totalitarian. Because you read 1984, they're just like, we've always been at war with Eurasia. But why? You don't want to ask those questions. You can't ask too many questions. Don't do your own research. You know, just accept things. Just accept things the way they are. And I find that to be a very flawed idea, of course. Wow, this is a long-ass video. It's already 17 minutes. But yeah, I don't like that idea. And I think we should look at things. Now, the pendulum can go too far into that direction. And sometimes it has, at times in life, in the world, you know. It's almost, I'm not going to say it's technocratic to want this, but scientism kind of thing, you know, it could lead to some bad things. But in these contexts of modern society, where a lot of the left or a lot of liberalism is about acceptance without causation, that's what I'm talking about. And that's the thing that we need to focus on, in my opinion, to make a better world. And that's what they used to do, you know? That's what people used to do. People used to do, you know, try to study things. Now they're just accepting it. And I think there's no better example than in some of these cities where people are just like on trank and just standing there. It's like, oh, well, we're going to give them free needles, and they can just live their lives as homeless people. We don't have to we just accept it. We just accept it. Just accept the person pissing on the sidewalk or puking on you or harassing you. Just accept it. Just accept the digital currency. It's just it's getting a little conspiratorial for everybody. No, just accept. Why don't you accept that you have to do this experimental thing of you know, from the viral situation of unknown origin from China. Why can't you accept this injection? Why can't you just do it? Just accept it. You know, don't ask questions. Just don't look at the root cause. We don't have to know the cause of how that happened. Who cares? You know, just accept that it happened. It just was it might have been natural. It might have been lab. Who cares? We don't have to look at the cause. Just accept it. You know. It's just appalling. People want to just accept things too much, and I'm not going to accept that they can't I'm not going to accept that they don't accept. Wait, I messed up. So it's kind of a circular thing. I'm not going to accept that they just accept things. That's about all.